Hello everyone, and welcome back to Final Fantasy XIV. I'm still sick, but you know what? We're just gonna continue because I've been wanting to play more of this and get back into it. I honestly forgot where we were for a second, but obviously we're continuing with the story. So, she would like us to meet a distinguished individual. Though we seek a peaceful solution to the primal problem, we must needs be ready to fight for our cause. That you might take to the field suitably prepared, I would have you meet with the Goblin acquaintance of mine. His name is Mutamix Bubblypots, and he is a scholar of no small repute. Mutamix is renowned for having introduced a revolutionary method of enhancing equipment in Eorzea. The knowledge of this method was once closely guarded secret, but thanks to Mutamix and his students, it has now been disseminated to the great benefit of the realm. It would serve you well to acquire an understanding of the process. For this small purpose, I shall lend you a blade. Take it to Mutamix. Bid him to use it to demonstrate his craft to you. Mutamix is ever to be found at the camp in central Thanalan, a place known as Bonfire. Look for a pillar of smoke, and the way will become clear. Okay, so this part of the story is a little bit weird, because so essentially what he's going to teach you is how to extract materia from your gear. So as you use your gear, as you can see down here, this is my gear, and you can see some of the spots are green and some of the spots are white. That's because my spirit bond with these things has grown to 100. So if you look, it'll say condition 78%, 78%, spirit bond 100%. That means I can extract materia from that piece of equipment. And materia can then be used to enhance your enhance your gear. But you have to learn how to extract the materia first. So this isn't like huge to the story plot. This is more just necessary for game mechanics. And later on in further expansions, you'll gain materia that you can use. And, you know, here's the thing, it does become necessary. You obviously want to use materia on your gear, because it gives you boosts, like direct hit rate, critical hit rate, things like piety, tenacity, essentially stats that you're going to need. And you're going to want to look at your specific, like, gear to see what you can maximize, because you want to maximize the best stats for your build, but also, you know, for that piece of gear. I wouldn't say that this is something you really have to worry about so much in A Realm Reborn, but I mean in later, heck, I don't even think I started adding materia until like Shadowbringers. I don't think I really ever understood the concept because I was kind of just rushing through everything, so but yeah, it's one of those things I didn't worry about until way later. But then it kind of becomes necessary. So, and Mutamix has a couple other things he'll teach you as well, especially when you unlock like a crafter or gatherer. Then he'll teach you some other things, and so you'll be coming back to this camp a couple times, just depending. But like I said, this is less about story stuff, which is why I'm not really worried about it. So I am just going to kind of gloss over this, but I just wanted to explain essentially what he's going to teach you. So, like talking to this guy right here, he teaches you materia extraction, and then he gives you some dark matter. So he just explains it to you, and then once you do that, then you unlock the ability to extract materia. So now what we can do is we can go to this, we can extract the materia, since our spirit bond is at 100, and we can do that for every piece of gear where our spirit bond is 100. And then we gain certain materia from that, which then we can later reapply to pieces of gear that have those little holes where the materia slots are. We can then have a materia melder then apply that materia to it. So, fighty tool drinks an airy self. They all talk like him. Oh boy. Oh boy. Yeah, and it's like, you're a friend of Minphilia's, and it's like, yeah, she wants you to do stuff with this dagger. Goblins are, like, I love their outfit, but it's just like, I want to know what they look like underneath. Some people said it's just a Lalafell underneath, and it's like, no way. Like, that is not true at all. There's no way. It can't be. But yeah, so this dude does a whole presentation on materia. Now, Eyes of Uplander point at Fighty Tool. Yes, materia join with Fighty Tool. Fighty Tool gains power of materia. Fighty Tool reborn. Now take it back to Minphilia. Yeah, I know. Materia is a crystal. You can extract it. I already explained all that. So, for those that are new and they don't know any of that stuff, like I said, it's useful. Now, when you get your materia, it will look like this. Obviously, it'll tell you what it does. So, like, Piety adds 1 to Piety. Savage Might gives 1 to Determination. Quick Tongue is for spell speed. I don't cast spells, so this isn't going to be useful to me. Determination, I'm not really sure if that does or not. Piety, I think, is more for tanks. But again, I'm not completely sure. Now we have to take this back to Minphilia, so we're going to use the Vesper Bay ticket to head that way. Also, thank you for everybody that's been commenting on my videos. Excuse me. When I do get stuff wrong, here's the thing, it doesn't matter how long I've played this game, there are going to be things that I forget. So, obviously, when I do get things wrong, like, I would hope you would correct me. And I'm fine admitting that I got something wrong. Ooh, what's this guy? Hail adventurer, I'm Nedrick Ironheart, an explorer by trade and a scion by allegiance. And you, my friend, look to me, an adventurer in need of a challenge. I happen to know a place that will offer that to you. Tucked away in a corner of eastern Thanalan lies Halatali, and this is a place that you will find all the excitement that you crave. The place boasts a storied history. It was built some 100 years past as a training ground for gladiators. The calamity laid ruin to it, though, as it did to most things. Now Halatali is a shadow of its former self, but in the dark of that shadow lurks wild beasts, both bloodthirsty and beyond count. For one such as yourself, I dare say there is no place finer than Halatali to test your skills. Okay, so this guy essentially gives us the quest that will unlock Halatali as a dungeon, but we have to find the person that'll, like, let us into Halatali. Which is fine. I remember Halatali. I also have tried it in hard mode, too. I've pretty much done every ARR dungeon, like, 1,000 times, but ask me whether or not I remember the exact mechanics of everything, and the answer is no. My friend Marissa, though, she could tell you, like, darn near every mechanic of every boss ever, even if it's been years since she's freaking played it. Welcome back, Sam. I trust your visit to the bonfire proved fruitful. Yep, here you go. Ah, what a remarkable difference a single piece of materia can make. Granted, the skills needed to manipulate the substance are not easily acquired, but one need only look upon the results to realize such efforts are worthwhile. As I'm sure you're aware, the quality of one's equipment can be the difference between victory and defeat. Materia may well give you the edge you need, Sam, so make it your ally. Now it's time we discuss the matter of your next mission. Pray speak with me when you're ready to begin. What'd she give me? A level 18 weapon coffer. I'll say my weapon's already, like, level 20, so... Ooh, Lord of the Inferno. Word has arrived from Thancred concerning our ongoing investigation. It appears he was able to extract some information from our friend Ungust, the false priest. He revealed that he's due to meet the Amalja to discuss their dealings. The Immortal Flames believe that the meeting will present an ideal opportunity to ambush and capture the Amalja responsible for the abductions, and so they mean to have Ungust attend as planned. As the Amalja are anticipated to offer fierce resistance, the Immortal Flames have requested our support. I would have you provide it for them, Sam. Thancred is presently attending to another matter, but will join you as soon as he's able. Until such time as he does, you will be the Scion's sole representative on the ground. Before he left, he bade me tell you to save some for him. Such is his confidence in you, a confidence I share. When you've made ready, pray, take yourself to Camp Drybone, and report to the Flame Sergeant leading the mission. May you walk in the light of the crystal. So we're about to face Ifrit. I remember when I first saw Ifrit, and I know I mentioned this in a previous video, but Ifrit is one of my favorite summons. It has always been one of my favorite summons because I am a firebug. I absolutely love fire. The element of fire, it is fierce. That's why, like, okay, so I don't say that I believe in zodiac stuff, but, like, you know, when it comes to me being a Pisces, everybody's like, oh my god, you're just, like, such a water element. Yes, I am. I love the water, I love water, but man, fire, though? Fire. That's an element. Alright, so I'm going to go ahead and hire a porter. Take me to Ul'dah because I'm lazy. 30 gil for 2 minutes? Bet. But anyways, so like I was saying, I love Ifrit, and when I first saw this design in Final Fantasy XIV, I wasn't really sure how I felt about it. I kind of missed the more, like, bestial, like, wolf-canid kind of Ifrit, like, because I'm very... I don't know. I don't want to say smitten with that design, because that's not how it is, but it's like, that's just a very nostalgic design for me. And like I said, that was like one of my first impressions of the design. And so I'm very fond of that design. Now, looking at the Beastmen, or the Society, looking at the Beastmen that obviously worship Ifrit, which are the Amalja, naturally, they're god, because that's what primals are, they're gods. Naturally, Ifrit would take more of their appearance, and the Amalja are very, like, lizard-like. So naturally, I don't blame Ifrit for having more of a lizard appearance, but I was just so taken back by it, and I was like, that's not the Ifrit that I remember, and I was like, what did they do to my boy? Like, I was kind of insulted at first, and I was like, ugh, like, I don't like it. But honestly, I came to like it in its own way. It's unique. But it's definitely not my favorite Ifrit. Now, the other primals, like, they did good. Like, oh my gosh, like, Garuda's design, freaking love it. You know, it's like Garuda's design, I love it. Ramuh's design's really cool. Very, very classic. Titan's design I laugh at. I just think he looks like a goofy big old meatball. You know, Shiva, done so well. I love Shiva, like, woof. And, like, there's just so many more that are just really, really good. But yeah, so it's just, it's one of them things. But I do like primals. Summons has always been one of my favorite parts of Final Fantasy, really. Final Fantasy VIII. So there's a summon you can miss in Final Fantasy VIII, and I think it's when you're fighting Cypher. Is it Cypher? I don't know. I think it's when you're fighting Cypher, and you're on that time limit or whatever. And if you use the spell to basically, like, steal magic from him, siphon magic from him, then you can get the summon Carbuncle. And that's the thing, like, I was so mad when I realized that was like a get it or you miss it, and it's such a small chance, and because you're on a timer, you know, like, you can completely miss that summon. Diablos, that was another one where I was like, oh man, I love that. I'm not talking to this guy because he just gives you a Fantasia. Fantasia allows you to change your appearance. I already have a Fantasia. I have 2 of them, because there's a Wandering Moogle in Gridania that'll give you one. I don't really plan on changing my appearance. Also, I have not hired a retainer yet. I forgot. So don't blame me. Alright, I'm level 29, Battlecraft. Let's see. What do I already have? 23, 23, 28. So 20 and 20. So I just need pants. Like, yeah, so I'm looking for pants. I need pants. Can't equip gear to feet. No, why would you not let me equip gear to my feet? Let's see, Disciple of War. We'll just do it this way because honestly, like, that's the only way that I feel like makes sense. 23, 25. I don't really care. Cancel. Gimme. At least I match. Except for those damn gloves. Oh man, just bright ass yellow gloves. Gross. 21 and 20. I'm not gonna have enough money for the weapon, but that's fine. Now we're gonna go back, and I'm gonna get another freaking thing, another porter to take me to Camp Drybone. So let's see, Chocobo Porter. I want to hire a porter, take me to Camp Drybone. But yeah, I've been watching a lot of content when it comes to like Final Fantasy. Today I was watching a video showing off 1.0 of Final Fantasy 14, essentially before Realm Reborn. And what's crazy, like even thinking about this area here, Central Thanalan, I was watching them go through it, you know, and the map was so different. And I love how they basically was like, oh, the world was transformed forever by the calamity. You know, so naturally, these maps are different than the maps that 1.0 had. But it's just like, they worked so hard. They worked so hard to give, like, this land a different feeling. Like, this world a different life, because their original formula just was not working. And I've got mad respect for that. You know, to look at a game and to listen to a community and just go, okay, we want to give them something special. We want to give them something that they want to keep coming back to. We want to give them a world that they can love, like fall in love with and be a part of and live through. And then to literally destroy a whole game and give it new life instead of just abandoning it. Like, that's very rare in the gaming scene, and I think it shows that in some senses Square Enix does care about its creations, or at least they did at some point. And, you know, like, I don't know, it's one of those, like, win for gamers, you know, moments. But it's so fascinating to see, like, what the original vision was, tree, and then what we got, you know? I don't know. It's just something that I think about sometimes. But I've been, like I said, I've been watching a lot of Final Fantasy content because I follow a lot of creators that do those, did you know, Final Fantasy? And it's so fun because Final Fantasy is one of those games where I just always feel like I'm learning something new, you know? Oh, that's where Holotolly is. I still have missions here, too. Jesus Christ. They're weird. I might as well get some of those over with so I can just get them out of my inventory, you know? Might just do that. Alright, come with me. Come with me, Gobby. Gutrix Silverpix. I love goblins. Somebody said that they really would like goblins to be a playable race. Oh gosh, what was it? We were talking about some. I'll take care of these. But, somebody was talking to, or who was it? It was me and Marissa were talking about if they were to add more races to Final Fantasy 14. So I'm kind of the mind that there does not need to be any more races added to the game. Because at this point, you can only have, like, so many characters, right? And now, if you're using the game for roleplay purposes, which, I mean, I'm a role player, so I get it, you know. I have multiple characters, and most of them aren't even leveled, because I don't need to level them for most of what I want to do with them, right? I just have to have very basic, like, areas unlocked, and, you know, so the thing is like, if anything, what I can do... Ooh, treasure. If anything, what I do is, I'll just freaking, you know, story skip so that I can access certain zones. Or, you know, I rely on my friends to make, you know, character housing so that we can use that as, like, backdrops, or they can fly me to areas where I'll be safe from enemies or something like that. But, you know, the more races that they add, the harder it'll be for people to decide, you know, what they want to play, and, you know, like, I don't know, at some point, it just gets way too complicated, because then you have to find lore reasons as to why these races weren't in the game to begin with. You know, and I don't know, it just kind of becomes messy. I remember when Hrothgals, like, first got introduced, there were some issues with, cutscenes. There were issues with cutscenes because the bones for Hrothgals, you know, they weren't matching up right, so they had to do, like, a whole patch because Hrothgals were, like, sinking into the ground. And I don't think they had that much trouble with male Vieira, but, again, you have to find lore reasons as to why these guys didn't exist, and now suddenly they exist, and... You know, for people that don't care too much about the lore, I mean, I guess it doesn't really matter. But at the same time, for role players, it becomes a little bit more difficult because then you gotta think, okay, why is this race here now? Why weren't they here before? How can you, you know, apply that to a roleplay character? Excuse me. Yeah, originally I thought what I had was allergies, and it's not the Rona or anything like that. But yeah, originally I thought it was just allergies, and then I started getting sore throat, and then I spent the last week like coughing and hacking. I think the allergies definitely make it worse, but I guess there's a bug going around where I work, and with kids all returning to school and stuff, it's just, yeah. If it's the halls of Halatali you seek, you need seek no further. Permit me to tell you something of the place. The name comes from an ancient tongue, Halatali meaning the land of many shadows. It was here that our distant ancestors first settled, and bah, you've not come all this way for a history lesson. Shh, listen, do you not hear the howls and growls? Do they not feel how they shake the very earth beneath you? Those sounds are the work of no wind, my friend. Nor that rumbling doing of any shadows. Those are the calls of Halatali. For now, the beasts once kept for the Colosseum lurk there. And these are no gentle beasts broken by the hand of man. No, there are those within that the might of even the mortal flames cannot tame. From the look at you, you must be Sam. I received the word from Nedrick that you might be along. By his recommendation, I grant you leave to enter freely. I only pray you'll be able to find your way out. Huh, how nice of you. I'll take the money, though. Now, Halatali is an optional dungeon. It is not, it's not something you have to do. And there are a ton of optional dungeons, and I love that. So, one of the things I loved about World of Warcraft, but hated at the same time, was I loved that they didn't require you to do dungeons, but I kinda hated that they didn't really explain dungeons back when I first played. And so I couldn't understand why the gear that I was getting from quests and stuff wasn't really meeting my needs. And then I realized that I was supposed to be, you know, going into dungeons. And that was kind of frustrating. So, and with Final Fantasy XIV, I was scared because you're required to do dungeons. But I'm actually glad that they offer, you know, they offer ones that aren't, it's not necessary to do them, they're optional. And they offer a good bit of story, so. Alright, here's Sam Matari of the Scions. Many thanks for coming, friend. We're stronger for your assistance. Allow me to brief you on our mission. Our objective is to capture Malta and prize from them the whereabouts of the abductees. The lizard men aren't aware of that their man, Ungust, has been exposed. When they come to the rendezvous point to meet the traitor, we'll spring the trap. Owing to the clandestine nature of the mission, we can deploy only a small contingent. Every member must count, and so we request the aid of the Scions. The rendezvous will take place at the Invisible City. Please make your way there to lie in wait. We stand to learn much and more of the Amalja plot if the mission succeeds, Sam. Let's make sure that it does. Okay. Well, off I go then to this Invisible City, wherever that may be. But yeah, so I'm trying to think of what other optional dungeons there are, but the thing is like I know so many are story focused, so I can't really think of ones that aren't story focused off the top of my head. I love that mount so much, the Behemoth mount. It's so big and chunky. So big, so chunky. Man, we're level 29 already. We're nearly level 30, which means we'll be able to ride our mounts as soon as, well, it's not as soon as we reach 30. I think there's like a mission we have to get to before we can do that, but once we are able to do that, that'll be nice. This person's doing the same mission I am. Alright, proceed. It's August. Is the bait in place? Our man is in position, sir. Good, we make our move as soon as the Amalja appear. You have all these normal-ass looking humans, and then you have me, just this giant blue cat. Oh, man. See, look at these guys. Like, the Amalja look cool as hell. Like, I love the Amalja. I think they look so neat. What is the meaning of this? Wait, something's amiss. More Amalja. More Amalja from behind. Oh, he's smiling. I'm afraid your little ambush ends here. I eluded the immortal flame's clutches for moons before finally getting caught. Did you not wonder how I managed it? It was almost as if someone was feeding him information from the inside. Gosh. Your every movement was known to me ahead of time. Now, as much as I'd love to chat, I have an appointment to keep. They're all yours. Alright, so we are facing off against all these Amalja. I want to know, well, I guess I know what appointment they have to keep, but regardless. Alright, so, again, it's kind of like the same thing as before. We're going to take out as many of the little guys as we can. The chief's obviously going to be the one that we fight last, because he's the one that's strongest. So we're just kind of taking off the ads, which, since we have our total eclipse, we can fight many at once. It's just about remaining in position to do so. The more of the little guys that we manage to take out, then the more little men that we have to fight the chief himself, which is nice. So, not really a hard encounter, even when he summons more. Because he's most likely going to summon more people, considering his health is not, like, dropping hardly at all. Which means this is a multi-phase fight. You kind of pick up on the tells after a while. So again, we're just gonna hit them all at once. We are over-leveled, so it's one of those things where this would be harder if you were under-leveled. And I've definitely done this under-leveled before and panicked. I think the first time I did this as a Lancer, like, I almost did not make it out. Because when you're playing, like, DPS and stuff, you don't have, like, mitts, and you don't have really good heals. So again, once the ads are dead, we go right back to the chief. Rinse and repeat. And then Unjust is just over there, just watching. Him and his little stooge. And he's just like, oh yeah, they'll get taken out, it's fine. Which, here's the thing, if it was just one chief versus, like, 5 soldiers, yeah, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Like, 5 soldiers and the person that took you down before, like, the crap. So, story-wise, we're losing. Even though we were winning. Put up your weapon, or your comrade's a dead man. Behind you! Oh, and I get put to sleep. Well, nap time. Bring her. Ew. The rest of you march. Clearly, they're like, ah, yeah, she's the bigger threat. Considering they're like, ah, yeah, like, take that one. Like, put her to sleep. She is the troublemaker. Now, where are we? So, looks like we've been taken prisoner. Everybody else is tied up. We're not tied up, for some reason. I fear the Amalja mean to give us to their god as an offering. If I must die, then let me die a soldier's death, with steel in hand. The Bowl of Embers. So, every time you fight a primal, it is known as a trial. So trials are shown by this Angie face, the Bowl of Embers. So you have to join for it, same as you have to queue for it, same as you would for a dungeon. So now it's just a matter of waiting. And I don't know how long we're gonna have to wait. So, but in the meantime, Borderlands 4 came out. And my friend Roto was nice enough to buy it for me. So I think I'm going to play some of that tonight, because him and I are supposed to play some of it tomorrow. I don't know who I'm going to play. I actually went back to classic Borderlands the other day. There are just some games that I feel so freaking nostalgic for. It is crazy. Like, the minute you just log into the game, you know, you just feel nostalgic. It's weird playing it on PC, though, because I've always played it on Xbox. And Borderlands 2 was definitely my first Borderlands ever. Listen well, these waters feed into the marshes of Drybone. A short swim will see us to freedom. However, if all of us attempt to flee, we are likely to be discovered. You alone must sneak out and assemble a rescue party. Once you have won free, seek out our comrade stationed at Drybone. He'll show you the way back here. May the 12 speed your way. No. I'm glad it lets you leave the area, so you're not, like, forced to be here. I mean, I guess that's if you want to get more gear, but at the same time, like, I'm already geared up, so I'm not worried about it. So, the lizard men marched us to their stronghold. They're preparing for something, and I, for one, do not want to be around when they finish. Yes. They're going to kill us, aren't they? Gods, I don't want to die. I want to go home. Damn it all, a traitor in the flames. What has become of us? I'm sorry you were dragged into this. Were I better judge a character, we wouldn't be in this mess. Sometimes it's hard to tell. I mean, people are really good actors, you know? So... The lizards claim that they'll soon bring us before Ifrit for tempering. You're not seriously considering locking horns with the devil now, are you? I mean, do we really have a choice? Like... That's the question. Like, do we have a choice? What say you about this big man? Or woman? Rejoice, heathens, for your worthless lives shall soon have meaning. Ugh. That's culty. It's very culty. But yeah. Just there's some games where you log into, and I honestly I forgot how empty Borderlands feels, like the original, because 2 kind of throws you right into the action, and it has so many different surroundings and themes and missions with voice acting right from the get-go, and 1 is so bare bones. But I took all of, what was it, 2020? Yeah, it was 2020, and I decided I was going to play through all the Borderlands. And I finished 1 and 2, and then late 2020, I finished Tales of the Borderlands. Or no, I finished 1, 2, and pre-sequel. Then late 2020, I finished Tales of the Borderlands. And it wasn't until 2024. 2024? Yeah, it was either 2023 or 2024. I think it was 2024, though, that I finished Borderlands 3. Haven't played Tales 2. I have played Tiny Tina's Wonderland. So there's that. But anyways, I will start recording again once we get pinged to join in, because I'm not going to make you sit and hear me ramble about Borderlands. But yeah, should be a good time once we get to fight Ifrit. Well, goodness is happening. Let's go. I actually really do like Lord of Inferno, hearken to our plea. Lord of Inferno, deliver us from our misery. Almighty Ifrit, Lord of the Inferno, your humble servants beseech you, grace us with your divine presence. People in the queue are probably so mad. Because, oh man, look at that. Look at him. What? Like, he is so cool, but also, my boy. We bring you before the ignorant savages who know not your godhead. If it please you, Lord, scorch their heathen souls with your cleansing flame and mark them as your own. Bloody hells. Bring those 2 as well. Traitors. What's going on? This ain't what we agreed on. None but servants of Lord Ifrit may behold the right of summoning. The souls of unbelievers are forfeit. No, spare me, I beg you. His little butt hop. Pitiful children of man, my breath. By my breath I claim you. Arise once more as my loyal minions. Feed my flames with your faith, and all who stand against us shall burn. So, this is what's known as tempering. Essentially, what it does is, it kind of brainwashes people. So, your words are my bread. So yeah, they're tempered, but we cannot be tempered. Impossible, by what sorcery do you resist my master's will? I am Cat. Your soul already belongs to another? Yes, that is the only explanation. He mad. He angry. Forsooth, thy frail mortal flame can serve as vessel to the blessings of but one. Yet I smell not the taint of another upon thee. The truth of thine allegiance waxes clear. Thou art the godless, blessed numbers. The paragons warned about thine abhorrent kind, thine existence is not to be suffered. Okay, now. Sorry about that, guys. Yep, okay. So, essentially they're saying that the reason I can't be tempered is because I obviously belong to somebody else. That may or may not be true. I will say nothing. Succumb to Inferno. I'm just gonna start tossing out mitts until, like, yeah. So, obviously as a tank, I'm just supposed to kind of keep this guy over here, away from everybody else. And that's really it. He'll eventually, for the DPS, he'll eventually drop a nail. Yeah, it's right over there, the Infernal Nail. they're supposed to destroy it. So I keep him distracted. They're supposed to destroy the nail. If they don't destroy the nail in a timely fashion, he does this huge erupt that essentially is supposed to just wipe out the party. So healer's supposed to keep me healed, DPS is supposed to take out the nail. Once they take out the nail, he'll do his little thingy, his hellfire, and then I have to pull him back in, just reel him back over here, and then they're supposed to finish him off. I have no more mitts, so this is obviously easy mode. This is our first primal, so he's not super hard. They get harder though. They get worse. Goodbye. Bye-bye. Ooh, crystal. I got a new rock from my shiny rock collection. Guys, look at it. The only rough part is that there are all these cutscenes, and party members get tired of waiting for you to get through them, so there'll probably be nobody left by the time we come back. Wink. My character's all dazed, like, what did I just smoke? Pray forgive my lateness. Thancred, you douchebag. I already did all the work. I was delayed by a congregation of Amalja zealots. I swear, each seemed more evangelical than the last. Persistent lot. Oh yeah, now you come in all cool. Phew. I see the Bloodsworn wasted no time extracting the captives, no less than I'd expect from the Flame General's hand-picked men. As for those two, it is fair to say their hardships have only just begun. They have much to answer for. I feel I owe you an apology, Sam. Had I known this mission would prove so dangerous, I would have never left you to face it alone. You've been given a veritable baptism of fire. Huh, you're so punny. But let us continue this conversation in a more agreeable surrounds. Camp Drybone, shall we say? This way, sir. So that was the mighty Ifrit. And what a disappointment he was. The readings are nowhere near what I had anticipated, even taking Ul'Dan interference into account. You should know better than to rely upon 5-year-old data left by the 7th Legion. Nor can we expect any form of support from the motherland given the troubles at court. We have only ourselves to rely upon. Ever the pessimist, my dear Livia. Promise me you'll never change. We've wasted enough time here. That meter of yours is too old to give any reading worth a damn. Not that there was aught worth a damn for it to read, but I take your point. I suppose we must content ourselves with the knowledge that we've achieved our primary objective. Yet I find that I'm troubled by the adventurer's unexpected show of strength. Could such a foe prove a hindrance to our plans? Perhaps, but that is a consideration for another time. You've been given a task. That is your priority. I suggest you treat it as such. Fail to do as my lord commands, and I will spare him the trouble of punishing you. Ma'am, you have boobs on your helmet. Huh, with allies like that. Beware a woman in love. I shall need to be on my best behavior. So obviously the Garleans are watching all of this. It's just there to remind us that, yeah, like I said, it's just there kind of just to remind us that obviously they're still a threat. So, there's still things going on behind the scenes. And it takes us back to Camp Drybone. Obviously there's a lot of people mourning. So, there you are, Sam. Come, rest a while. You will have no better opportunity. After witnessing their god's ominous defeat, the Amalja will be less inclined to risk the wrath for a time at least. Now where were we? Ah yes, I was in the process of apologizing. I do hope you can forgive me. I arrived too late to be of any use, to you or the abductees. They may be whole of body, but the same cannot be said of their minds. For once a man is tempered. But it still suits me to dwell, it ill suits me to dwell on the negatives. Amidst all our misfortunes, there is still reason to rejoice. Ifrit is slain, and by your hand, no less. That is the deed of no ordinary individual, Sam. Not that I ever thought you were ordinary. On the contrary, I've long suspected that you have the potential to shape the fate of this realm. What can I say? My fine eye for talent remains undimmed. Minfilia will be proud beyond all reckoning when she hears of your deeds. I trust you shan't object to my bearing the tidings to her. That way I can claim to have contributed something to this mission. You, meanwhile, have earned yourselves a rest. Take some time to relax and return to the Waking Sands when you're good and ready. We can discuss matters of more important detail then. Just don't take too long, will you? The realm's problems won't solve themselves. So, essentially, the abductees were tempered as well. So, and unfortunately what he's saying is once they are tempered, there is no coming back from it. So these people were essentially killed. And here's the thing, they either kill the tempered or they lock them up in prison and just kind of hold them there because there's nothing else that they can do. They're either murdered because, you know, they're tempered, or, you know, they just kind of keep them in containment because they just don't know what to do with them because their minds are completely taken over by the corruption of these primals. So it's a very sad situation. It seems like a lose-lose. Now, obviously, we cannot be tempered, so we have, like, this awesome ability, but it means that anybody that is not like us is in considerable amounts of danger, whenever it comes to fighting primals. Ah, the triumphant hero returns. Thancred told us the news upon his arrival. He is presently in the Solar, giving a full report to Lady Minfilia. You should join them at once. Lady Minfilia is most eager to see you. Okay. My late arrival nearly cost Sam her life. I wasn't there when the Amalja took her prisoner. And I wasn't there when they served her to Ifrit. Yes, by some miracle she survived, but that does not excuse the fact that she should never have had to face such dangers alone. I failed her utterly. Just as I'm failing you all. What's done is done, Thancred. You can ill blame yourself for every... Sam, it's good to see you again. Impeccable timing, my friend. I just finished regaling Minfilia with your heroic exploits. Thancred has told me everything. You have done well to return to us. The perils you faced were undeniably great, yet a part of me believes that I had no cause to fear, and now we can put paid to our long investigation. As we suspected, the Amalja undertook both the robbery and the abductions with the aim of summoning their primal Ifrit. Nor is this tale limited to Ul'dah. Similar incidents have been rife in both Limsa, Leminsa, and Gridania of late. I dare say you've been curious as to how these crimes are linked to the primals. Permit me to explain. Having manifested in the physical realm, primals must consume ether if they are to maintain their presence here, and the stronger they become, the more ether they require. Now, ether exists throughout creation. It flows through all life and permeates the very air that we breathe. Alas, this alone will not suffice to sustain the likes of Ifrit, Nay, he and his kind require a more concentrated source of ether, crystals. It is for this reason that incidents involving crystals can often be traced back to a primal. Which leaves us with the why of the abductions. To understand this, you must first understand how primals are born. When all is well with the world, primals possess no physical form. Their essence is dispersed across the great river of ether. However, when the world is plunged into chaos, those who worship the primals cry out to their gods for deliverance from suffering. These cries serve as a beacon towards which the primal's essence is irresistibly drawn. It is this coming together, or etheric coalescence, which grants the being's physical form. Once born, a primal gains strength from its followers' worship. The more numerous and fervent they are, the more powerful their god becomes. But the primals are seldom satisfied with such reverence as their adherents freely give, and in order to gain more power, they do not scruple to create followers. They do this by tempering mortals, a process to which you yourself were subjected. Yet even as Ifrit took your comrades in his thrall, you alone remain unaffected. This is thanks to the power you possess, the Echo. We know not the why of it, but those blessed with the Echo are immune to primal influence. It is as though a greater power protects us. When first you came to us, I told you that the Echo would be instrumental in dealing with the primal threat. I trust you now begin to see why. The recent incidents all share a common trait, meticulous planning. Such elaborate designs are a new development, and one which fills me with an unshakable sense of foreboding. While I share your concern, my presiding feeling is one of relief at your safe return. Ah, the immortal flames assured me that they will deal with the aftermath, so you need not concern yourself with that. We may rest easy for a time. I suggest you take full advantage of the respite, Sam. You may be sure it won't last long. Once the people learn the identity of the hero who felled Ifrit, I fear you will have nary a moment to yourself. Whether she intended to or no, Minfilia neglected to tell you something. Something I think it would best if you heard from one of us. It concerns the tempered abductees that were rescued. I'm sorry to report that all are to be put to death. The flames with whom you were imprisoned included. Needless to say, this information must not be made known to the public. I swear to you that we would not do this if there were any other recourse. But once a man is tempered, he is tempered for life. His very existence lends strength to the primal, whom he cannot choose but to worship. And so we Scions continue our fight, that no more innocents need be sacrificed. I hope that you will continue to stand with us, Sam. But I should be going. I must offer my apologies to the Flame General for the losses of his people suffered. Till next time. I love how he still smiles. He's like, by the way, all those people, you didn't rescue them. They actually had to die, but, yeah. Gods forgive me. How many more lives? Louisoix would never have allowed this to happen. I have to do better. I have to be stronger. So I like that it's showing us, obviously, that, you know, these are just people. They are just people. They have their own things going on, you know. Alright, a hero in the making. I think this is where we have to join a grand company, finally. Until not so very long ago, you were but one of many adventurers seeking to make their way in Eorzea. But for your character and courage, you were raised to the esteemed post of envoy. Therefore, you traveled to the realm, aiding those in need without thought of reward, confirming to Thancred that the Scions would benefit from your aid, and no sooner had you joined us than you personally bested the primal Ifrit. You have achieved a great deal in a short time, and won fame in so doing. Alas, fame does not come without a price, as you will soon discover. We have guests, Sam. Or rather, you have guests. She makes it sound so ominous. Beg pardons. Ah, Lady Minfilia, radiant as always. I am given to understand that the Scions of the Seventh Dawn have but recently welcomed a new hero in their midst. I am here on behalf of the Maelstrom, Grand Company of Limsa, to offer said hero a place of honor within our ranks. She's like, eh. As you can see, Sam, your recent exploits have garnered you the attentions of the Grand Companies of Eorzea. Each organization would have Ifrit's Bane for its own. To this end, all three have sent officers to court you. But I'm not looking for a husband. They would not have ordinarily gone to such lengths to enlist a new recruit. That they have is evidence of their high regard for you. I find myself wondering how word of Sam's deeds spread so quickly. That the immortal flames should know of her triumph is to be expected, but what of the other grand companies? Tataru. Your reputation precedes you, Mr. Utari. 'Tis no ordinary woman who can face a primal and emerge a victor. The Order of the Twin Adder has need of valiant women such as you. Join your strength to ours, friend, and together let us ensure that peace ever reigns over the Twelveswood. No, you guys are a bunch of racists. What a pleasure it is to finally meet you, Mr. Utari. My comrades speak of you in the most glowing of terms. Why, even before you aided us against the Amalja and their dreaded primal, yours was already a respected name in Ul'dah. Our people know and love you as well. Yeah, but you also pay the brass blades and you're run by a bunch of, corporate greedy bastards and you're shady as shit. A woman of your talent belongs in the immortal flames. Join your strength to ours, friend, and together let us secure a prosperous future for Ul'dah. Blah, 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 blah. No, thank you. The Admiral was not exaggerating when she said you have the look of a hero. Full oft does she speak of you, friend. Ooh, Merlwyb speaks of me? Ha ha. It is only natural that we should want you for the Maelstrom. Join your strength to ours, and together let us see the grand vessel of Limsa to the shores of glory. I'll do it! For Mommy Merlwyb! Sam's face. Yeah, that would be me. I'd be like, excuse me? Lady Minfilia. Very well. Though I'm quite sure you need no reminding, mayhap a brief summary of the situation would help clarify your thoughts on this matter. As you know, the Grand Companies are all-encompassing organizations empowered to call upon the material, economic, and technological resources of their respective city-states in times of strife. There are presently 3 such organizations in Eorzea: the Maelstrom of Limsa, the Order of the Twin Adder of Gridania, and the Immortal Flames of Ul'dah. Serving a Grand Company means serving the nation to which it belongs. You'll be charged with its defense and tasked with advancing its cause. In return for your faithful service, you'll be furnished with various rewards, some of which may well prove useful to you in your other endeavors. If you're agonizing over which Grand Companies best deserves your loyalty, be at ease. The commitment you make this day need not be permanent. Should you wish to shift your allegiance at a later date, you're entitled to do so. And yet, I concede that it is no small choice you face. A thought occurs to me. You will, of course, recall that the 3 city-states are planning to hold a remembrance service. As well as part of the proceedings, I am given to understand that the leader of each Grand Company will deliver an address. Hearing these addresses ought to help you make an informed decision. What say you, my dear officers? A fine suggestion. You are as wise as you are beautiful, my lady. Very well, let Sam hear our leader speak, then return here with her decision. We eagerly await your answer. Tataru. She's like, oh well. I know full well that adventurers are by their nature a liberty-loving breed, and not best suited to the discipline of military service, but I strongly urge you to join a Grand Company nonetheless. While the promise of reward is enticing in itself, it is not the only benefit. You are possessed of great power, Sam, and with it you are capable of doing untold good. Yet know that great power is wont to attract attention, not all of it friendly. There will be those who wish you ill, and you must needs be on the lookout for them. Yet however vigilant you are but one woman. In the midst of the grand company, however, you will be one woman amongst many, a friend amongst friends. Your achievements will be shared, and so will the danger. I can think of no better arrangement. Of course, joining one organization need not mean leaving another. I hope that we can continue to rely upon your aid. The 12 know that we will have need of it in the days ahead. The Grand Company seek to protect their own nations. We Scions, on the other hand, seek to preserve the future of Eorzea as a whole. Similar, yet not quite the same. Now then, I expect that you will be afield more often in the future. As such, I would have you carry this link pearl with you at all times. It will allow us to stay in touch regardless of location. Eorzea is changing, Sam, and you have the power to help shape it anew. None can say what the morrow will bring, but so long as we believe in ourselves, there is naught we cannot achieve. Now it's time that you made ready for your journey. Before you depart, be sure to speak to Tataru. She will apprise you as to the where and when the remembrance services are due to take place. Okay. So essentially they want us to pick a grand company. And that's fine, because what'll happen is once we pick a grand company, we can then get a chocobo. And once we unlock the chocobo, it essentially means that we can use mounts. And once we can use mounts, I can use my motorcycle, and traveling will be a lot easier. I already know what grand company I'm going to choose, but, you know. I'm sorry about all the attention you're getting, Sam. I might have sung your praises a little too loudly, and often, to a few too many people. Next time I'll be sure to hold my tongue, literally, if necessary. Anyways, I expect you want to know where and when the remembrance services are taking place. If it all goes to plan, Gridania's Grand Company, the Order of the Twin Adder, will hold the first one. An elder seed seer, Kane Sana, will deliver her address at Mikedo's amphitheater. I should probably mention at this point that due to the organizational challenges involved in assembling all the involved parties, it's possible that the order of the services might change. Still, there's not much we can do about that, so make Gridania your first port of call. Next, you'll need to go to Ul'dah, where Flame General Rauban Alden will be addressing the masses at the Royal Promenade. Oh, and it's rumored there will be a special guest. How exciting. Last but not least, you must make your way to the stateroom in Limsa Lominsa, where Maelstrom Chief Admiral Murlwib will be giving her address. The room is accessible via the Admiral's lift. Identify yourself to the sentry, Xanathiel, and he'll admit you. Got all that? Well, off you go. I hope you'll find the remembered services suitably educational. I suggest visiting the city-states in my prescribed order, though with your record of impeccable timing and luck, the schedule may well change in favor of your preferred travel plans. Farewell. So we can go to these in any order. I'll probably just go to the Ul'dah one first, but we will end up doing that in the next video. So leave a like if you like this series, and if you want to see more. I plan on posting more as I start feeling a little bit better, but with me coughing so much, it's just been kind of hard. Let me know what grand company you joined and why you ended up joining them. Leave that in the comment section down below. Thank you guys so much for your continued support on my videos. I love making them, and I can't wait to make more for you guys. So again, I do appreciate it, and as always, I will see you all in the next video. Alright, ciao you guys.